told our manager, I was like, we need to get everybody into the bathroom. It was dark in there, you couldn't see anything until the roof started to lift off.
You could just see this wall of like black darkness. It's the middle of the day and it's just dark and it's coming this way. You know, I said, if you don't leave, you're gonna die.
Wall came down and I was probably unconscious for a couple of minutes, and when I woke up, I could still see everything flying around. I couldn't see anybody, and I was pinned from the waist down. And
I asked her where the school is. And she says, well, it should be right there. And when she looked up and she saw that there was no school, that it was gone. You could hear little kids screaming for their moms and their dads, and the sheer terror in their face. You know, there's no words to describe what you see. You can't explain it the way you wish you could to a 6-year-old. You can't explain why their friend can't come back. You can't explain why they can't have their playset back automatically. Why the park doesn't get rebuilt.
Yeah, Gary, right now there's a lot of activity going around this gas station. They're really digging in this debris right here. They backed up a tow truck. They're running a cable out. And these people are frantically digging right down through here.
I started calling out. Nobody was answering. So the guys pulled me out from underneath the building, and I couldn't feel my legs or anything. I've never worked with Salvation Army before. I mean, I've dropped stuff off, but that's about all. We found a track chair that's kind of like a wheelchair with tank tracks on it, and he thought it'd be a great idea to get back to like the outdoors and stuff, camping. And I think that'll be awesome to be able to get out and do that. So he told me that the Salvation Army was going to fund it, and I just thought that was probably about the greatest thing I ever heard. I mean,
the Salvation Army, to me, helps make your family whole. Because as a dad, you want to provide everything for your family, and sometimes you just can't do that. They take care of you. They were nice. They understood what you were going through. They wanted to make sure that the kiddos had toys, they had bears, they had everything they needed, which is a personal aspect that sometimes you lose. Home isn't home for a kid until their toys and their things are back. You never prepare to lose everything you have, no matter how hard you try. But it's like they're prepared for you. Because they know what you need, even when you don't, because they've been there. It's kind of hard to ask for help sometimes. But when people can look at you and they're not just giving you charity, it's not like they're having pity on you, and you can see it in their eyes that they actually care. It builds you up. It gives you a little bit of hope that you're not alone no matter what you go through.
I believe that the Salvation Army is there not only to give material goods, but also to lend a prayer and a hug. And I saw that when we were volunteering.
As we're standing there, a lady approaches me. She's just got a desperation in her look and feel. Her little girl was in the Plaza Towers school. When all of this started happening, they couldn't get to her. And as a mom, it's really easy for me to put myself in that place. I can't imagine not being able to find my child. I just said, you know, I'm a mom and a grandma. Can I give you a hug? And that hug, it was trying to convey all the love that we have to give.
One thing that the public rarely gets is that unless you've been at ground zero for something like this, you really think it's a 3-day issue because the news goes away. I'm most proud of the fact that the Salvation Army stays there on site, engages people, hires people, to continue to meet those needs, to rebuild those lives for as long as need be.
The Salvation Army is involved in helping in disaster every day of the year. They just come in different sizes. But one thing that is for sure is that when the Red Shield on that canteen pulls in and those doors and windows open up and the volunteers and officers make themselves available, in that moment we bring stability to a chaotic situation.
We've worked with them in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Joplin, Hurricane Sandy, and obviously here in Oklahoma.
We're going to be right there shoulder to shoulder with them to make sure we do everything we can to meet the needs of those individuals who've been devastated.
I'm glad to see the Salvation Army doing what it does best. To be there at the hardest time in somebody's life, to give them a hand up, to give them hope, and to let them see it's not over. There is a way out of this.